In this video, we're going to compare the Maono PD100 against the Shure SM7B. We're going to do a whole bunch of different tests. We're going to rate everything on our report card. Then we're going to talk about which one of these microphones is right for you for podcasting, live streaming, and vocal recording. Now for the setup of this video, both of these microphones are connected to our Rodecaster Duo. The Maono PD100 has 52 dB of gain, and the Shure SM7B has 59 dB of gain. Both of these microphones have processing turned off on the Rodecaster Duo, so you are listening just to the raw audio coming from either one of these microphones. Now, if you are looking for pricing or specs for anything that you see in this video, we do have links down in the description below where you can find everything you see from a variety of online retailers to make sure that you are getting the best price possible. But for the purposes of this video right now, the Maono PD100 is about 1/10 of the price of the Shure SM7B. You could get about 8 to 10 of these microphones for the cost of one Shure SM7B. I think that's an important context to have as we go through everything in this video. Now starting off, let's talk about build quality. The Maono PD100 here has an all-metal design. It is a lighter gauge metal that makes up the Maono PD100. The grill itself does feel solid. Towards the rear of the microphone, we do have an XLR output that just goes straight out the back, and on the side of the microphone, there is a microphone mounting arm that's screwed into the side. As we move up towards where we connect our microphone to our microphone stand, you can see that it is double tapped, so it has both thread sizes built into the microphone itself. You don't need a thread adapter or anything like that. Now the Shure SM7B is quite a bit heavier than the Maono PD100. It's an all-metal design here. The foam windscreen does come off if you want. You can reveal a metal cage under here with a bunch of holes under it that protects the diaphragm of the microphone. If we put the foam windscreen back on and look at the rear of the microphone, you'll notice that the Shure SM7B has two switches. One is a bass roll-off or a low-frequency roll-off, and the other is a mid-frequency bump. I don't like using either one of these switches for podcasting, live streaming, or vocal recording. If you want to learn more about them, I do have a link up in the corner where you can see and learn more about them. Now in terms of mounting the Shure SM7B, it does have a pretty heavy-duty metal yoke. That yoke goes up towards your microphone stand. Up at the top where the microphone connects to your microphone stand, you will notice that the XLR output of the microphone is also ran to the same location. This does make XLR cable management just a little bit easier when you're using the Shure SM7B. Next, let's take a quick look at the specs of both of these microphones. The Maono PD100 is an XLR dynamic microphone with a cardioid polar pattern. It's an end address microphone with a frequency response of 20 Hz to 20 kHz. It has a sensitivity of -53 dB, plus or minus 3 dB, a max SPL of 132 dB, and a weight of 322 grams, or 0.7 pounds. Now for the Shure SM7B, it's very similar here. XLR dynamic microphone that's a cardioid polar pattern and an end address, has a frequency response of 50 Hz to 20 kHz, a sensitivity of -59 dB, max SPL of 180 dB, and a weight that's about twice the weight of the Maono PD100 at 764 grams. Next, let's take a quick look at the frequency response graph for either one of these microphones. It's not make or break, but it does give us a good idea of what to expect with these microphones. For the Maono PD100 here, you can see that there is a low cut or a bass roll-off from just over 100 Hz. There is a slight cut for the low mids as well. As we move up into the upper mids, you can see that it does get quite a big bump here. It flattens out in the upper air frequencies before dropping off after 10,000 Hz. For the Shure SM7B, this graph is a bit more complicated because it does have those microphone switches on the back. You can see that the dotted line here represents the low cut switch, and the dotted line up above represents the mid bump. We're going to focus on the main dark line here, which is the microphone with no switches enabled. You can see we have a similar low cut on the Shure SM7B. The low mids are left scooped a little bit. It's pretty flat from 1000 Hz to 4000 Hz. From 4000 Hz to 7000 Hz, we do see a slight bump in the upper mids, and then the upper air frequencies here, you can see that there is some cuts and some sculpting before it rolls off at about 11,000 Hz or so. Now, so far in this video, we've had pretty good microphone technique. You wouldn't have heard any plosives or anything, but now let's demonstrate a worst case scenario of plosives with the microphones by just looking straight into them. Peter put peanut butter on his pineapple pizza. 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 Next, we're going to do a background noise test of both microphones. This is what the PD100 sounds like with the keyboard and mouse going in the background. This is what the Shure SM7B sounds like with the same keyboard and mouse going in the background. If you do have shuffling paper in the background of your recording, this is what it would sound like on the Maono PD100. If you do have paper shuffling in the background of your recording, this is what it would sound like on the Shure SM7B. Now, I do think it's a useful test to use a white noise machine to test the off axis of these microphones as well, so I'm going to turn that on now. This is what the Maono PD100 sounds like if you need to move it or adjust it throughout your recording, your podcast, or your live stream. This is what the Shure SM7B sounds like if you need to move it throughout your recording, your podcast, or your live stream. This is what the Maono PD100 sounds like if you end up tapping or bumping the microphone or the boom arm. This is what the Shure SM7B sounds like if you end up tapping or bumping the microphone or the boom arm. This is what the Maono PD100 sounds like if you have processing turned on the Rodecaster Duo. This will give it some EQ, some compression, a de-esser, and a couple other settings for you to hear the true potential of this microphone. This is what the Shure SM7B sounds like with the same settings on the Rodecaster Duo. This will give it some EQ, some compression, a de-esser, and a couple other settings in order for you to hear the true potential of this microphone. Okay, now we have the processing turned off for both microphones. So we're going to do a blind audio test here, again, for you to hear how these microphones sound and for you to decide which one of these microphones you like more. No, it's not the computers. The computers were fine, and the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything is indeed 42. The problem is that nobody knew what the question was. No, it's not the computers. The computers were fine, and the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything is indeed 42. The problem is that nobody knew what the question was. All right, I just finished editing everything, so now we got to go through the scorecard. We'll talk about it a little bit, and then we'll make a recommendation for you as to which microphone is right for you in which scenarios. So first of all, when it comes to build quality, the Maono PD100 gets a fair rating here. I don't think it's a super excellent build quality, but it's all metal build. It's a lighter gauge metal, but I don't have any immediate worries or concerns about this microphone. Compared to the Shure SM7B, this thing feels robust. It feels like a professional grade microphone, has that weight or that oomph to it, and it just feels like this thing's going to outlive me, which Shure microphones are notorious for doing. Maono is a new up-and-comer. It doesn't have that brand equity that Shure has, so we really don't know what to expect from the longevity of this microphone. Next, in terms of plosives, I say that the Maono PD100 does need help here. If you look into this microphone, you will get plosives. So when I say it needs help, it's not a complete deal breaker. I just recommend that you go out and find some type of a third-party pop filter or foam windscreen for this microphone, because the plosives can be distracting, especially if you're in a podcast scenario or something like that. It's dynamic. You're probably working with a guest or two guests. Maybe they're not trained on the microphone. You're going to be susceptible to getting plosives in your recording. The Shure SM7B sounds really good when you talk directly into the microphone, and if you don't like how it sounds, it already comes with a bigger, thicker foam windscreen. So either way, the Shure SM7B gets an excellent rating here, and the Maono PD100 gets a needs help rating here. Now, when it comes to background noise rejection, the keyboard test and the paper test, I think both microphones did excellent. I have no worries about that type of movement around the microphones in this video. Next, in terms of handling noise, I do say that the Maono PD100 again needs help. It's not so bad that it's a deal breaker, but you're going to want to baby this microphone a little bit in this regard. Having it up on a microphone boom arm will help. I don't know if there's any third-party shock mounts or anything available for this, but you're going to want to not bump the table or move around this microphone too much. You're going to want a pretty consistent environment. It's not as bad as other microphones that we've compared, especially in this price range, but it is still pretty bad. The Shure SM7B in comparison is quite excellent. The handling noise, you can hear it. It's not a secret that you're moving the microphone, but it's nowhere near in the same sound volume as the Maono PD100. Now, when it comes to frequency response and the sound of these microphones, I say they're both excellent because I think you can listen to both microphones for a long period of time without being super annoyed by them. They are quite a bit different. The Maono PD100 does have that big bump at 150 hertz. It kind of bumps up that low end. A lot of people do like that. And in the upper frequencies, it's bolstered quite a bit as well. You do hear, I wouldn't say that it's more natural sounding than the Shure SM7B, because it doesn't really strike me as a natural sounding microphone, but it's more, you get more high-end information than the Shure SM7B. Let's put it that way. It's not necessarily to help it sound natural, but if you do like a brighter sound on the top end, the Maono PD100 is going to give you that bump on the low end and that brighter sound on the top end compared to the Shure SM7B. Comparing these microphones back and forth, you can see how the Shure SM7B earns the characteristics of being smooth and rounded, but also compared to a brighter dynamic like the Maono PD100, you could also hear how the Shure SM7B might be called muffled from somebody that prefers the brighter sound of those upper frequencies that the Maono PD100 has. So I think they do both sound good. The upper frequency boost of the Maono PD100 here is not grating. I don't think it's over sibilant or anything like that. The S's aren't like punching through, but I do find they're definitely boosted. So I think both microphones sound good, and now it's just going to come down to your personal preference. And the last item on this report card is talking about price and value. Now, the Maono PD100 here is quite inexpensive. That being said, still both microphones I think earn their fair value. The Maono PD100 is inexpensive, but the plosives are a pretty big issue, and the handling noise are a pretty big issue. It doesn't really matter if your microphone sounds great and you want to use it, if every time you move the microphone it's distracting and it ruins your recording. Likewise with plosives, it can have a nice tone, but if you have a plosive in the microphone, it's not going to give you that value or that return on your investment of the microphone that you're looking for if your recording sounds distracting. So I think the price that you pay for the Maono PD100 is fair for what you're getting, and I do think that it represents a good value. Likewise for the Shure SM7B, you're not getting excellent value for your money with the Shure SM7B. It's a professional grade microphone. It passes all the tests that we do in this video, but it is still quite expensive. It rarely goes on sale. It's big, it's heavy, it's a lot to work with. It's a professional grade microphone, and you pay the price for that if you want all those features. So I do think the price of the Shure SM7B is also fair. It's not excellent, it's not, lacking. It's right where it should be for the type of microphone that you're getting. So all that being said, which one of these microphones do I actually recommend for you? Again, similar to some other videos, I think that this turns into a value discussion. If you like the tone of the Maono PD100 and you're just getting started, its affordability allows you to forgive the plosive protection and the handling noise. You can buy an inexpensive foam windscreen for this. That would really help it. And if you can control your environment and you know you're not going to be banging on the table, then the Maono PD100 is a great affordable microphone for you. So I think in that case, you can easily make it work. That being said, if you are looking for a more professional grade microphone and you do have some more money in your budget, the Shure SM7B is obviously a great professional microphone. It passes all the tests in this video. It sounds really great. It mostly comes down to a matter of affordability and whether or not you can justify the budget for this microphone in the budget of your project that you're working on. I hope that makes sense. I hope this video has been helpful. If you do have any other questions about either one of these microphones, please do leave a comment down in the comment section below. If you want to see more reviews or comparisons with these, just let me know down below as well. Again, if you do want to see the current pricing of either one of these microphones, we have links down in the description below. And if you want to see more videos like this in the future, please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.